So I'll say, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again. I appreciate you for finding yourself here right now and for expecting nothing. I'm still gonna give something, I hope at least, but I honestly believe that there is freedom, so much freedom, in fact, in expecting nothing. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. I'm trying to educate myself, kind of remind myself of this fact, right? We talked about it a little bit briefly yesterday, specifically about how even though we know that expecting something from the world can lead to suffering, it doesn't make it any easier not to, right? It doesn't make the suffering any less sufferable when we do end up hurting ourselves by expecting something. A majestic Pippi sitting in the background. I see Dan here. What a pleasure having your name in chat with us, Brother Bear. Sending you blessings. I was actually thinking about you today before stream. And here you are, dude. Dad, hope you've been well, friend. Love is true. We have Joe Schmo here too. Thanks, you too, Shan. Hello and good day to you, fine folks. Shan, blessings. So much love in chat already. Let me pour myself a glass of water, maybe read something worth saying, and then get into it. Expecting there's a spider in my water cup. Hey, little dude, I don't want to drink you. I mean, if I would probably drink spiders if I could absorb their power, but I don't think it works that way in this world. Hey, spider. Oh, bro, that thing holds on. Oh, I just applied more G's onto that poor spider's body than it has ever felt in its existence, and it's like gripping onto reality. We have Lisa and Aunt P here too. Come on, little Spodriki. It's so cute and tiny, right? Maybe I shouldn't show you. My cup's dirty. Part of me doesn't want to wash it because it keeps collecting dust. And it's like I'm drinking dust on purpose. I think of it like an immune update, right? Whatever's in the air, instead of just breathing it, I get to drink it as well, introducing more vectors for my immune system to figure out how to deal with it. But I don't want to drink spider. Maybe I should pour water in the glass and see if the spider floats. Hopefully it doesn't hold on to the bottom of the cup. Come on, dude. Oh, he's holding on to the bottom of the cup. No, you shouldn't do that. Stop. Oh. Okay. He's in the water now at least. Oh, bro, I'm drowning him. Okay, no, he's in a bubble. Good. Here, come. Let me save you. There he be. Such a tiny little spider. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus that close. You see him? Ah, bro, I think he's pretty wet right now. There you go. That's better. It's definitely a spider. I can see his 8 limbs. Such a cutie thing. There you go, little dude. You have been saved. I shall not drink you. This is not how I thought the stream was gonna start. One more time. Honoring our little spider friend. And let me see if I can get him to transfer. Climb on grass. Yeah, baby. Oh! Look at him webbing. He's doing a web. You see that? Yeah, yeah. Oh goodness. I think the wind just yeeted him. Oh no, he's on the grass. Okay, there you go, dude. Enjoy your adventures. Let me get back into chat. We have Zano here too. Blessings to you, friend. Shanna, the stray cat that lives in my boathouse, finally came to CB. She's my new best friend. Blessings. That sounds so wholesome. We have Kristen here as well. That's awesome, Joe. Today is actually 1 year since I adopted my kitten, Widow. Happy anniversary to you and little Widow as well, Brother Dan. Good morning, friends. Joy V. Love to you. I call her little tiny kitten. Seems appropriate, right? We can call cats whatever we want to, technically. You can own a living being, you can call it Sock. I say sock specifically because that's literally what I called one of my cats. I called him Kous, which is like the Afrikaans word for sock. I called him Kous. He didn't mind. He never had anything to say about it, in fact. Oh, no, no. Oh, Joe, I'm not surprised that the kitty is your new bestie. Who wouldn't want to be besties with you? That's so sweet. Oh, I'm excited for you. So much lovin's. Happy Gotcha Day to your little Willow, Dan. So much lovin's. Hey, Kristen. We have Loizana here too. Did you have a birthday this month too? She did a while ago now. It's like a week, 2 weeks ago. Time has been a little bit wonky for me. Things feel both long, right? And also so rapid. Like there's a sense of dissociation, might be the right word, with me and time. And I feel weirdly enough, it came with the lack of expectations from myself. I'm now noticing a certain energy arising in my body again, where I realize that other people expect things of me right now, and that is going to take some of my freedoms. But I'm not complaining about that. I think it's a good thing. I feel like it's good because of this understanding I have kind of like tried to garner of. Yeah, expect less, more freedoms, right? So trying to balance things, I guess. I think it needs more personal name, like Nina. That's just my opinion. I think Nina because you say she's small. Nina means small, Lisa. I don't own any of my animal friends. They just hang out with me. They're just friends, exactly. Why did you call your cat Sock? It had like little like white mittens, right? Like it was like a mostly black cat. It had like a one white spot on its body, and then it had like white little mittens on its feet, right? Or socks on its feet. And I was like, Sock feels a little bit rude. And Kous. Try saying that word, Kous. Hey, Kous. It's kind of cute, right? Even though it means sock in Afrikaans. Kousse is the socks, right? Is the plural for our word. But Kous is the singular sock. Would you say you have commitment issues? Joe. We have Jovan here too alongside us. I own mine and I keep them locked in my house with a little devil emoji. Hello, Vizana, syncing with you. Thank you, beloved friends, for adding so much lovin's and emojis and names. I appreciate the effort you put into it, making our friends feel seen. To you, friends lurking in the background as well, even though we won't say your name directly, I am seeing you right now. Do you feel seen? Looks into your soul harder. Sending you lovin's. It's nice having all of you here. You know me so well. Love is true. That's probably why the animals love you so much, Joe. You respect them in their natural habitat, 100%. Joe Bud, we are attuned, girl. This is the way. Sock sounds like a tuxedo cat melt. Mr. Kitty in a tuxedo cat. He was actually pretty good looking. That was like so long ago though, when I was a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. Goodness, how is 15 years already passed? Oh, course. I remember we just got him, and then we were on a family vacation, or not family vacation, family get together with all of the other family members. And we went to this place called Waweel Waterpark. It's a water park that has like a bunch of swimming pools, basically. That's has some swimming pools, has like an artificial ocean where it like has like a wave generator. Has some slides, I think 2 slides. It was like very low budget water park, but it was a water park and we were super stoked to be there. We camped and then of course I had Kous, so I took him with me. And yeah, I think that might have been a little bit overwhelming for his little being. It was super sweet though. Little tuxedo cat. I had a cat named Socks. He was also black with white feetsies. Of course. Of course, that's another synchronicity we share. Jovan. Jovan, I forgot to give you this. A little love, Furby. Thank you, Loizana. In Spanish, Nina means little girl. Thank you, Lisa. I knew there was gonna be something connected to that word. I just didn't know what. Let's read something we're saying, shall we? See if there's something meaningful for us to springboard off of. Maybe I should actually do like a little bit of a search. Yeah. I feel like this one is appropriately attached to expectation. Not completely, but parallel to it at the very least. What creates experience is how you decide to view the events that come up in your life. Right? Sometimes we expect things, and then we create the experience of suffering. What creates experience is how you decide to view the events that come up in your life. Creation is forever new, and all events are neutral. So, what do I choose to communicate to the world? For we are ceaselessly teaching the world what we believe holds the greatest value. Your thoughts are not neutral. Your thoughts are imbued with the power of creation. We use our momentary consciousness to say, we are this and not that. Sit with you and realize your unique experience. For I have manifested a body in this moment, in this space, to learn and to experience from it. I am free. And for where this line, and wherever you go, there you are. I'm gonna read that last one. Practice being the presence of heaven. Realizing that we do not need anything, right? All of these things that we expect from the world, that we believe as soon as we get it, we're going to be happy or fulfilled or satisfied. I feel satisfaction is probably the biggest one, right? The fact that we can, in some way, satisfy ourselves. We have this ability to satisfy ourselves potentially sexually. Sorry for going there. With food, you can eat until you're full. We can satisfy the need to feel clean by taking a shower. We can satisfy our tiredness by taking a nap or going to bed at night, right? So it's very, very real, this ability to satisfy ourselves with something. But unfortunately, when it comes to the overarching thing that is life, that is this experience we're here for, satisfaction is something that eludes us, right? I believe satisfaction is something that arises from you knowing that this is good, right? Again, you eat your meal and you feel full, and your brain goes, "This is good." You go to bed and you sleep well and you wake up rested, and your brain goes, "This is good." But doing that for life as a whole, I feel like that's a little bit more complex, right? Because the thing that needs to say this is good is you. And once we expect something to happen, especially when it includes other people, right? That's the thing that I have to teach myself today, is expecting things of other people. Not even expecting them to do something specifically, but to show up the way that you show up sometimes, right? It leaves you with a sense of loss that technically doesn't exist, right? Because again, it's where you place your focus. It's what you use your momentary experience to believe about your reality. And it's so trippy to me how, despite knowing all of these things, I still find myself looking at the negatives, right? Looking at the lack instead of the abundance that is right in front of me at all times, right? Expecting more instead of appreciating what is, kind of vibe. And it is an interesting one, right? Like we all probably face that in our lives. Why? Why is that like a big thing about being a human? The human experience makes it a little bit hard to not experience or to not want for more sometimes. And again, the way I'm trying to understand it or attach it is this ability to satisfy ourselves physically, right? The bodily satisfaction that comes with eating a meal, for example. But you cannot eat life, right? You cannot eat the whole of it, technically. You can experience all of it as the consciousness that you are, that we all are, and I do believe we do. But unfortunately, from this linear perspective of your memories, you don't, at least not completely. I don't know where I'm going with this, to be completely honest. Maybe I'm just trying to understand myself, understand my own expectations. Am I expecting something of myself right now? Is the question that arises. Am I expecting myself to reach a point of enlightenment? Yes. Yes, please. Can I have one enlightenment, please? Order up one enlightenment for me. The universe says no, bro. You'll have to be satisfied with not knowing as well. You were right. Cultivate, don't know mind. Cultivate, don't know mind. No expectation mind. No need to understand mind. Right? And that is hard. I feel like that is going to take me my entire life. Hopefully, when I'm, in my 50s, I'll be better at it than I am as a 25-year-old. Right? If I spend a whole lifetime of myself trying to get better at it, surely I'll get better, right? Please tell me I'll get better, please. Tell me, I'll type in chat, you'll get better, Mel. I need the positive reinforcement right now. Oh, okay. It is a delicate dance between the squirrels, the cats, the ducks, and the dog. None of them get along. The challenges. Oh, bro. I saw this video yesterday of I've forgotten the species, but a gecko, right? A gecko going and saving another gecko that was being strangled by a constrictor snake, right? And I was like reading in the chat, trying to understand if this was love or was it, like a mating instinct? Was it a sense of, I am gonna brave enough and then go and try and save my friend, right? I was like really going through the motions of just seeing this gecko risk his life to save another gecko. And I was like going back into my mind of that experience that I had where I saw a snake and a gecko having stalemated each other, where they both bit at one another at the same time. And the gecko had like its bottom jaw on the snake's jaw, and the snake had its top of its mouth over the gecko's top of its head, right? And they were holding each other like that. And then the snake proceeded to pick the gecko off up the ground and then carry it away. And I was there looking at this. And I was asking myself, am I less compassionate than a gecko is? Would I have saved that gecko if I was a gecko as well? Expectations, right? That gecko probably expected me, what we was hoping for at the very least, for me to save it. That snake probably expected me to try and intervene, but I felt it wasn't appropriate for me to in that moment. Felt like I would be breaking some sort of cosmic law, right? I would be hurting something in trying to help. And now thinking about your fractal, Joe Schmo, with the squirrels and the cats and the ducks and the dog, none of them getting along. That being the challenge, you being a masculine entity and wanting to solve problems. What are we supposed to do sometimes, right? We cannot expect our animals to act the way that we do necessarily. And we will suffer. We will feel a lack of freedom. We'll restrict others' freedoms, right? We'll lock our cats inside. We'll lock our dogs inside. We'll keep our ducks in the ponds alone, right? You see the dynamic that I'm feeling like I'm facing right now? Thank you, Joe Schmo, for being a loving entity in their little world as well. I used to feed a stray in Tennessee. The movie Dances with Wolves had just come out, and there's a scene where the main character notices a wolf with 2 white legs. He writes in his journal, if he comes back tomorrow, I will name him 2 Socks. Favorite movie animal companion. So his stray cat hanging around my porch in Tennessee was a tortoise with four white legs. So I called him Four Socks. Four Socks. Four Socks sounds kind of dapper, right? Sounds very, very distinguished. It is the Sir Four Socks. All rise. Thank you for your honoring of Mr. Four Socks. You took your cat camping. Yeah, cats are territorial. They don't like being moved. No, it was still like a baby, right? It was like a small little cat. So I don't know if it was territorial just yet, Joy V, but yeah, I know better now. I was chilled. Favorite movie, Animal Companion. So much love. Sounds peaceful. Middleman, hey Joe, of course. Morning, Shell. It's nice seeing your name here. I always left some cat food for him on the porch. It was dry food, but it smelled so gross. I've never been a cat owner because I'm super allergic to them. One day, Four Socks got brave and came right into my living room with me. He settled down right in front of my rug. I felt so blessed. That is actually pretty wholesome. And then he barfed like 5 pounds of cat food on my carpet. Yeah, like that has been a theme in our home as well. I cleaned cat puke this morning because our cats, I don't know which cat it is, I don't think it matters, but our cats eat a bunch of cat food. They eat themselves full with cat food. And then they go and kill something, a bird or a rat. And then I don't know if there's like some sort of chemistry happening in their stomachs where those two food types aren't compatible, but then they puke out. I'm sorry we're going into this fractal. They puke out the pellets and the dead rat or dead bird, and then I have to clean that shit. I'm like, bruh, bruh, please. Why inside of the house, right? Like, there's so much room out here. Look at all of that room where you can go and puke. No, on the carpet. That was how I started my morning. First thing. First thing. Almost like there was like spidey senses going off in me. I lasered in on it. I had to clean it up as quick as possible. LA, when did you live in LA? 1990 to 1992. Made me think of that old saying, no good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, I've heard that one a few times now, and I don't know if I like it, Loizana. I don't know if I like it. I don't want to believe it. That's the reason, right? I want to bias myself to believing that good deeds beget more good deeds, not punishment. So yeah, this is Rosie. Hey Mel. Hey Rosie. It's nice having you here, dear one. Sending you blessings. Changes chat to all messages. Thank you. Changes chat to all messages. Yes. Shell, love is true. I noticed it switched to top messages if you resize the window too. Very annoying. Silly bobillies. Nothing is linear, Melt. Everything is fractal. Yeah, cyclical and fractal. It's true. I just believe that our experience of the self as the ego self is a linear one, right? Because I have a tomorrow and I look forward, I have a yesterday and I look forward to a tomorrow kind of vibe, right? And there's this me in the right now, and then there was the me that was an hour ago that had to take a shower or whatever, right? Then I know that there is this iterative process of me taking one step forward or whatever. And that, in and of itself, begets expectations, right? I expect to continue being my ego self, but I'm not. As you know, our beloved Louisiana just said, it is fractal. Because even though I am myself, I am a fractal of myself. I am a version of self that then gained all of the experience I gained just now. And then I'm the version of the self that begets. And then that version of self begets new experiences. And then I become a version, right? Fractaling outwards ceaselessly. Louisiana, I'm sure the little kitty appreciated being inside. I love the carpet. I hope the carpet made it out okay and wasn't stained. Expectations. Fortunately, the pellets don't stain. And I expect to have housing. Where this idea of yours shouldn't have expectations come from? It's more a belief in freedom, right? It's kind of like Stoic philosophy, to be completely honest, Joy Vive. And it's this understanding that in expecting nothing, you are actually free, right? And again, I get it. You can be free and not have housing, right? You can be free and not get paid a salary, right? Technically, freedom is multifaceted, fractal as well. Some people believe this freedom in having enough money to be able to go and do things, right? Some people believe there's freedom in being able to take a loan, being able to afford their mortgage, right? The freedom to be able to pay their stuff and not worry about that. So it is a nuanced fractal, and again, I'm happy that you're sharing yours with us, Joy V, because it allows us a little bit more depth in this discussion. For me, it very much is this understanding that when I expect things, and it's more like a emotional freedom than anything, right? When I expect things, I suffer for it, right? Like for instance, maybe yesterday's stream, right? Is special to me, and I expect that people see it as such, right? And then if not enough people see it to my ego mind, that will cause me suffering, and that makes me feel less free, right? And I want to be free from that suffering. And the only way for me to free myself from that suffering is to not expect it, right? Because it's unrealistic. It's again, it's something that I extend, like it's like the web of feeling that I have access to technically starts from the single node that is myself. And then as soon as you expect, you create nodes in the outside world that have to be met in order for this node to feel appreciated. When this node is all you need, technically, right? And cutting those expectations, you free yourself from them. Sure, that freedom can leave you unbound, lost, if you will, less structured, but there is a sense of freedom. This is not advice. This is just a topic, a stream topic for us to consciously evolve alongside with. I appreciate you asking that question, though. How do you feel about it? Reasonable versus unreasonable expectations are what we need to be discussing. Yeah, that's a good one as well. What do you, friends, believe is a reasonable expectation? Right? Because the joke in that is what I consider a reasonable expectation might be completely unreasonable. Right? One, from the perspective of what's realistic, and two, from the perspective of the fact that we have different ways of dictating what is and isn't reasonable as individuals, right? For instance, yesterday I had an experience at the end of stream where of me that technically isn't that unreasonable. Or like again, made me feel like this person is very unreasonable, right? And it's this expectation thing, right? It's a whole rat's nest or spider web, we can call it as well, of things. What's chat? Love to you, Sam. It's nice having you. The atmosphere here has been uncommonly still over the last few days. The wind picked up this morning and it feels like rain on the horizon. I love watching the atmospheric fluctuations, the seasonal shift. Blessings on that journey for you, Josh Mo. I hope it's a beautiful one. Communicated expectations are okay, like boundaries and deals, but I think having unspoken expectations keeps love from being unconditional. Wow. Now that's such a beautiful line to kind of like sum up what we're trying to get at in today's stream. Yeah. Uncommunicated expectations stop love from being unconditional, keeps love from being unconditional. It can. I don't think it does necessarily, though. That's the thing that my mind is now trying to understand, right? Even though it's possible for me to make my love conditional in having unmet expectations, I don't, right? Like I believe from an ego perspective that I have grown mature enough to be able to do the things that I set out to do, to love unconditionally, if you will, what I'm doing without my expectations being met. reasonable versus unreasonable expectations. I'm going through a whole mind trip right now. It is unreasonable for me to expect my darling daughter to clean up after herself. I don't think so, Shen. I don't think so, because this one thing that drives me crazy. Yeah. Like, I don't know what we're supposed to do about that, Shen. How do you get your kids to not be barbarians, to clean up after themselves willingly, right? Do you punish them? Do you take photos of the messes they leave and document it? Do you talk to them about it? Do you communicate to them the distress that it causes? Do you communicate your expectations? Do you make a deal? Oh, goodness. Do you get angry? Do you just leave it until there is like a 1 foot deep layer of trash everywhere and drive yourself insane in the meanwhile? I don't know, Shan. I don't know. Surely there is an answer, right? Do you know the answer? What do you do? What do you do? I don't think it's an unreasonable expectation, Shan. I don't. But I do understand that it's a child, right? So I feel like the expectation to them being child, vector is like a little bit wonky in my mind. Oh yeah, Melt Fam, Ground Sparkle, and Ashley are trolls, yeah. If they come through here and start their weird Boabab tree nonsense again, don't feed them. Thank you, Sam, for echoing. Trying to keep the space loving at the end of the day, right? So with the Justice Hammer, thanks for the heads up. Maybe Four Socks was trying to tell me, thanks for letting me borrow this food. You can have it back now. Thank you, Socks. Mr. Four Socks. It's like, I half digested this food for you. Here you go. Right? Probably baby kittens would probably be super stoked to eat mashed up, soggy pellets. All right, they would probably so stoked. Oh man, this is tripping me out. Joe Bot, I think you're right about the unspoken expectations. It's beautifully said. I start many a morning of a cat puddle of hair, airball, or regurgitated food pile. It is, yeah, it is something. Do you feed your cats on a schedule? I'm curious, Joy Vive. Or do they have like a feeder? Or do they have like a bowl that you keep filled? Like, I'm trying to think if it's our fault, right? Are we doing something wrong? Mel, I don't really like the saying either. It's pretty cynical, but I remember the phrase came to mind at that time. There is moments where they do, right? But again, that's like one of those things where it's like it's a false bias. Is that the way you say it? I could probably be more articulate, but that's the immediate way that I think of saying it, right? Like, when you find yourself in that moment where you did a good thing and then something bad happens, you got punished, then it's like oh, no good deed goes unpunished. But but you had like all of the other good deeds that didn't go punished, right? And because you weren't articulating to yourself in that moment, oh, all good deeds go unpunished because you didn't get punished, it's not as visceral. And then you have that one moment where that ends up happening, and then you make that your truth when it isn't necessarily. So maybe that's the real lesson in this one, Loizana, is noticing that thought arising and then dismissing it as a bias, right? That arises in a moment of discomfort, but isn't actually a truth. Cats that experience food insecurity have a hard time not gorging themselves on all the food the minute it's put down, Lois. Poor baby just couldn't regulate himself after being a stray. That is actually pretty sad. Thank you, Loizana, for taking care of the little one. We have Duck Dad joining us too. Kind souls deserving of love and understanding. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us too, dear one. I'm grateful that my cat lives outside, but there's more than just one on the planet Melty. Everyone experiences time differently. Yeah, that is true. That is true. The linear self, right? That is very true. I'm not arguing that. I am I am trying to understand, right, why we are the way we are from that as the perspective. The fact that there are billions of us experiencing this linear day to day time experience, right? And how that influences us, especially when it comes to our expectations of the world, right? One of the conversations I had recently with my friends is people that grew up rich, right? That if you were to marry the average person in today's society, the average 25-year-old in today's society, and you grew up with your dad being a millionaire, your expectations, knowingly or not, are so skewed to how reality actually works, right? And that's because of your linear moment to moment experience up to that point, right? And it's so hard for us to just not expect, to just change our expectations on a whim like that. Nigh impossible to. And I'm noticing that in myself, not even getting to experience some of those things, right? Trying to pay actively attention to my expectations as I form them, even. Okay, I just cast the stream to my TV and YouTube default back to top comments again. How dare you, YouTube, thinking I only want to see all comments. I want to see every single one of them. Every single one of them. This morning, it was pieces of tape stuck all over the carpet, a yogurt covered spoon shoved between the couch cushions, popcorn all over. You know what, Shan? I know you don't beat your child. Maybe it's time to. That was a joke. I was joking. I was just making joke. Just making funny, bruh. Bruh. Putting putting a yogurt covered spoon between the couch cushions is where I draw the line, bro. Like the popcorn on the couch, I can understand if you're like eating popcorn and some of the kernels fall out of your hand and then onto your clothing and then onto the. I can kind of like get it. I'm not okay with it, but I can get it. I'm having a hard time with the pieces of tape stuck over the couch, but at least that's like low effort. Pull it off. But the yogurt spoon between the couch cushions. That one makes me angry. That specific one makes me a little bit visceral. What do you do? What do you do about that? What do you actually do about that? Bruh. Right? Part of me is like, oh well, guess we're not getting popcorn or yogurt anymore. No popcorn or yogurt because clearly you have absolutely no self restraint and no respect for your own environment and mine. Me being your mother, right? Damn it, I want clean couches. When I go and sit on my couch, I don't want to feel popcorn kernels underneath my ass. I don't want to stick my hand slightly down the couch cushions, sign and then feel the crusty yogurt and spoon next to it. No, please. Please, you'll make me visceral. And I had this, weirdly enough, Shan. For me, it was children kicking adults, right? That was the experience I was having. I was meditating on that today, weirdly enough, where I was like, what do I do? What do I do if a child starts kicking me, right? Because instantly there is this part of me that wants to rain hell on them, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's a child. Oh, I'm like, ah, fuck. That is true. I can't actually do that. And then I was imagining this digital fractal, right? Where I can like one day at least pull up a screen and then, have like two slides. Slide one, you kick me, I throw you off the planet, right? I grab you by your clothing and punt you right off the planet's surface. You disintegrate as you burn reverse on the atmosphere, and only crispy bits reach outer space. I'm so sorry, this is so brutal. Slide 2, you stop, and we get to live our lives happily ever after. Slide 1, slide 2, la, 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 la. Slide 2, slide 2. Right? So maybe that would be one way. It's like using our digital realm to be like, oh, look at this potential reality that looks like it would suck. How about that one? And then how about this other reality that we would rather live in, right? Maybe like that's one thing you can do one day, sure. It's like, oh, the reality where my couch is clean and your mom is happy to have you as their child, and I don't have to hate your guts and I hate living with you, right? Look at how nice this is. Look at me smiling. Look at me calm, deliberating how I can do something nice for you at the end of the day. Slide 2, me being visceral, me not wanting to do anything nice for you, me wanting not to spend time with you because you're wasting my time with me having to clean up after you, right? Which slide do you want to live in, right? Reality 1 or reality 2? You get to choose. Choose wisely, dear child. Please choose wisely. There's a new bug in my water. Free yourself, little dude. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Shan, I decided that even though the norm and what I was taught was to pressure the child to work independently, I like to make fun and do it together instead. The thing is, and this is what I'm feeling from Shan, is it causes us discomfort, Shell, right? Like we end up doing it because it makes us feel better. It makes us feel better in that moment to not have to sit on popcorn kernels and salt granules, right? And not have crusty yogurt sticking to the center of our couches, right? It makes us feel good. So even though we could wait for them to come back from school or whatever and then do it together, it's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be angry, right? It's gonna be so much rage. No. My dad would call that slightly used cat food. In my son's room, there are always little tiny pieces of something on his desk, and he's taking apart. When I try to clean it off, he's not happy, I can imagine. Especially when you're taking things apart. I need my pieces. All of the pieces are necessary. Please don't clean my stuff. I feel like we don't expect people to view the world in the same way we do. We start to appreciate the individuality of another person. I know it seems like a pretty wrapper on a complex issue, and I think it's good. I think it's a good one. I think, it just, again, it's nuanced, Joe Schmo. Because some things we cannot appreciate, right? Like, how do you appreciate someone putting a used spoon that they use for yogurt between your couch cushions, right? I don't appreciate that. Oh, you're unique? You're unique, are you? Putting fucking yogurt spoons between my couch cushions? No. No, in fact, I don't. I don't actually appreciate that. I don't find your individuality. What's the word you used? I don't appreciate your individuality like that, because that's pretty individual. That's unique, very unique of you to do stuff like that. But no, please. The thing though, Shell, is she has a very hard time doing many things on her own. She expects everything to just be done for her. If I help her, she doesn't help, and I end up doing it all myself. Exactly. And then the rage, right? Adults with messy children may just have to ask their child to shut the door so the mess isn't in their face. It's up to the occupant to decide to keep their space orderly, and forcing them will just lead to resentment on both sides. Yeah, that is the hard part, Sam, because you are right. But again, we share space, right? And if you keep using my space or our space and you leave it a mess, you are causing me distress. It might not bother you, but it bothers me, right? And I do not want to be bothered by you in that way, right? I want to love you because I'm capable of that. But when you keep doing these things, you make it hard for me to. And I feel like I'm feeling Giovan's comment of like uncommunicated expectations lead to keep us from loving unconditionally, right? Like that is now a communicated expectation that can also keep you from unconditionally loving when it's not met, right? Like that's a rough one. I think we're doing what you can in the best way, Shan. You are being a loving presence. That is what's most important. Mhm. They eat in the morning and in the evening. I feed them wet and dry. I do not free feed them as they are indoors, and it would lead to fat cats. That is probably true. That is what I'm counting on. Sam, I told Amara when her new room is done that she can make that mess all she wants because that is her space. Yeah, hopefully it reaches a point of saturation. I've seen some extreme things. I won't name him, but I have a friend whose room really has been the dirtiest environment I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen actual garbage dumps, right? Like at least there's some sort of like, this is supposed to be this way when you're at a garbage dump. His room made alarms go off in my brain, right? Like it activated my central nervous system into a flight or flight response, right? Like I should either fight this guy, like beat him into submission, and then while he's unconscious, clean his room for him, or I should run away from this room right now. Where as you walk, you literally have to drag your feet close to the ground to shimmy the pieces of trash out of the way. Otherwise, you might end up slipping or stepping in something, right? Empty Coke bottles, cigarette butts, monster cans, packets of eaten chips, fast food containers. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that somebody can live that way. And he was an adult, right? Like he's already an adult at that point. Like you should know better. But no, no. It's very concerning. And I personally would not be able to continue like that indefinitely, right? I can love him unconditionally, nonetheless, and I do, but I will not live with him. Right? Boundaries, kind of vibe. No, that's what she's counting on, Sam. No, I think I've written one. Regardless, cleanliness. Regarding cleanliness as not clean person, I have rules. I gather trash on set days. Dishes don't linger in the sink, but coffee cups get a pass. And don't let trash on the floor. Yeah. Trash on the floor, I never understood, right? Like, the trash can is like literally less than a minute away, bro. You have to get up, put it away, get back. Like, it's not that bad. Like, I'm getting triggered. I think you're doing what you can. Love is true. It's hard. People have different levels of cleanliness that they like. I am messy but not filthy. I used to live with one of my besties who was going through a hoarding trauma, leaving things to pile up, did nothing to help the situation. Nope. There's no instantaneous way to change living like a slob. It's slow and you have to commit to it. I believe it's like an identity thing, right? Like you have to start identifying as someone who doesn't do stuff like that for it to change, right? Like you have to, like, an identity is a big thing for not only cleanliness, but for everything in life, right? How you identify literally shapes your life because it's what you believe about yourself. And what you believe about yourself becomes your reality, right? If I believe about myself that this is how I live with the trash 1 feet deep around my bed. That's how I live. Then, of course, I won't change it because that's my identity. That's who I am in my mind, right? And as soon as you decide, no, actually, I don't want to be that person, that's when, change can kind of start. But as you said beautifully as well, Sam, it does take time to shift that identity. Have you ever tried simply turning off the TV, sitting down with your children and hitting? Joking, of course, being joking jokins, right? And we laugh about this because that's how it used to be, right? I got so beat as a child, so beat. Yogurt spoons in the couch. I feel like that might be time for intervention. Yeah, Joshmo, where's your appreciating the individuality now? I'm joking, of course. Sam, I was thinking the same thing. My mom would have beat the tar out of me, Shan, for making it. Oh, yes, 100%, right? Like, that's the thing. That's why I was like kind of joking about it. My mom did. My mom 100% would absolutely beat me if I tried some shit like that. Like, this is not acceptable. Like, I could like see the fractal of her, calling me, and I can hear the tone in her voice. Like, she's calling me because I'm in danger, right? She's not calling me to kumbaya and handhold with me. She's calling me because I fucked up, right? Estian! I hear that. Estian! And I'm like, oh goodness, what did I do? What did I do? Starts recanting all of my fuck ups in the last 24 hours. And then I get into the living room. And then she didn't move it, right? Didn't move it a little bit. She just points. The fuck is this? At this yogurt covered spoon in the cushions, right? And then I get my ass whooped, and then I have to clean it myself, right? That would be my fractal. And I wouldn't do it again. I probably wouldn't do it again. Yeah, but I don't know if that is the way to do it, unfortunately. Right? That's the problem. Like, fear does work. It does work. That's why we've been using it on humanity for as long as we've been trying to civilization. We use fear as a tactic, but on your children, it starts opening a vector for concern. It's such a big fractal, right? And I'm thinking about DNA right now, having an influence on that stuff as well. One thing I do is break down the number of tasks to just one thing, Shan. For example, only the floor, only trash, only dirty laundry. But you're already doing it right, Shan, sharing ideas. It's just so hard doing so much completely on my own, getting things done, and also having time to spend with her and anyone else and take care of myself. It's exhausting. I know I'm not the only one who struggles with this, though. It could be worse. You are completely valid in your frustrations, Shan. Like, I don't know if you need that validation, but I would be losing my mind. Maybe that could be one way, right? You you break down. It's like, it seems my actions is causing my mother to lose her mind. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I should readjust. Oh shit. My dad is losing his shit right now. I don't know if I like that, right? That's not beating, but that still seems like abuse in one way or another, right? Emotional abuse or whatever. Oh man, I still have a lot of time before I can be a dad. No boundary, no eating anywhere besides your room and the kitchen table. That's a good one. That's a really good one, actually, Jovan. I like that one. But again, then it comes into the fractal of like wanting our children to eat when they have a hard time doing so. And then these boundaries making it even harder for them to eat something because they need ceaseless entertainment to be able to eat something at all. The existence of other worse suffering does not mean your suffering matters less, Shan. Thank you, Sam, for echoing that validation as well. That is a rule, Joe. She sneaks many things anyway while I'm too busy to notice. Yeah, that's disrespectful. So much disrespect. On weekends, I'm always eating popcorn off the sofa floor after Mr. Shell and Junior watches movies. What about a reward/demerit system? That could also work. Are there adequate consequences? There we go. The consequences coming in. Maybe you need to invest in a better leather whip. Yes, Shan, it would be worse. It could be worse. You also have a bigger house and more children. Yeah, true. This is true. You could have 10 children right now all of them collectively eating popcorn and leaving yogurt spoons between the couches. I'm just imagining walking into the living room and then seeing 5 yogurt covered spoon stems peeking out of one couch cushion hole and then 5 on the other couch cushion hole, right? And them thinking they're so cute and me losing my absolute mind, being like, I need a break. I'm gonna go and buy some milk. I'm buying some milk right now, and all of the kids run to the door. No, don't go buy milk. You're like, yeah, you motherfucker. I'll go and buy some milk right now if you don't clean that shit. Shan, the struggle is real. We love you, Shan. Thank you for being such a strong mother. Love you, Shanna. I think you're doing a great job, Mama. Absolutely. Shanna's house sounds like a clean museum compared to mine. Keeping a house and a family is a huge job. Absolutely. Mel's dad lectures are hilarious. Don't laugh at me, Doc Dad. I'm suffering, bro. I'm already, like, I want kids. I do. I want many kids, right? I would like a whole house full of kids. But, bro, I would like to be a good dad as well, right? And I feel like the more kids you have, the harder it is to be a good dad, kind of fractal. We'll see. There is Zano, but somehow here we still are. Like pretty tissue paper flowers that get added to a jar. When they get to a certain number, to give a piece of candy. If rules are broken, take one away. Loss aversion, right? Get the nanny 11, nanny 911. I don't know what that means. Can we all agree that yogurt spoons should be in the kitchen sink, lol? Yes, please. Like, yogurt dries crusty as well. It like has this flaky texture to it if it dries. Right, I guess it's triggering me. I could try something like that, Zano, thank you. Again, it's just now more effort. That's what I'm feeling, Shan. It's like now I'm efforting so that I don't have to effort as much, right? And like the level of effort that you have to effort to not effort as much might be just as much effort kind of vibe. Oh, I could tell her the story of the Krampus, Shan. Krampus who hauls away naughty children and hot young ladies can solve all of this with a surprising outing. Do you have a friend who has a full body coat suit? Oh goodness. It's like a sprinkling of trauma. She knows now where the Christmas present come from, Sam. Yeah. Maybe that's one way, right? It's like maybe that's a thing we can do. I think this might be better, Shan. Instead of like candy, value, right? You can like communicate to her that she can get Christmas presents and birthday presents, right? And there's a certain amount of money that goes into buying presents. And children these days want high value presents, right? You can't get away with buying a kid $50 Barbie doll anymore or whatever, right? Now it's $500 consoles or whatever. And then you go, I'll buy you Christmas presents because I love you. I do. But I have a budget, right? Because I do not have infinite capital. So there's this $500, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. $500 budget for your Christmas at the end of the year. And every single time you waste my time, I take $1 away. If you spend every single day fucking with me, you will have $140 left at the end of the month or end of the year. $140 is not gonna buy you a console. So it's up to you. You want console? Yeah, clean your shiz. Clean your shiz, little dude. Oh, you're gonna cry? Oh, I'm gonna cry? Gonna shit your pants? I'm sorry. Oh goodness. I'm gonna try and be a cool dad, but I'm not gonna take bullshit from a child, yo. Oh hell no, bro. Oh hell no. No, bro, I'm exponentially smarter than you are. You think you're gonna outsmart me? Oh hell no. I have a significant amount of trauma that came specifically from parents who would rage and become violent, very violent and dangerous, armed with weapons when they wanted us to clean things. Yeah, that's not okay. And so I know that extreme violence does not cause anything to be clean. Absolutely not. Thank you for sharing that fractal as well, Shell. Again, I share these things almost from like a comical, like maybe that's why we did it as the old versions of ourselves, right? Like that we know is not the way. Maybe like I'm kind of resonating with this budget, right? I'm really resonating with it. It makes sense to me. And I can see it working on my younger self. I can definitely see it working on my younger self. It's like, yeah, you have one PlayStation worth of capital. That's yours. You just have to get to the end of the year to get it. And every single time you waste my time, which costs me time. Do you know that in this world we find ourselves in right now, we have to sell our time in order to earn money? How about that? So if you waste my time, you waste my money. So I'm going to take the money that I want to spend on you because you have wasted it. Instead of just cleaning your shit, after you're done with it, you wasted my time and your money. Get wrecked. Checkmate, child. Get checkmated. Also from 9911, timeout is on your terms. If there is a meltdown, you gotta sit on the timeout step for 2 minutes. If she gets up, put her back and the time starts over. It's hard in the beginning, especially for our kids these days, right? 2 minutes is probably an eternity to them being unstimulated by something. Turning the Wi-Fi off could be another thing as well, right? Confiscating their devices. Honestly, Joe, it would be weirder if you didn't. Did I miss one? Is it strange that I have a goat suit? I mean, it's not strange, right? It's definitely not strange. Be strong, sweet Shan. We love you. Happy puppies in the background. They have been playing. I don't know if they're behind me still. Pippi is. She's like, there she is. Mama, touchy, touchy, touchy. She ran away like, bro. I think she's eating grass right now. She might have an upstairs stomach. Are you eating grass? Oh, yeah, grass, eating grass, eating. She seems to know what she's doing. Start making your way here with the goat suit. Keep up, and you'll have to suffer through an evening with Krampus putting the moose on your mom. That sounds even more horrific. I really appreciate it, friend. My parents are hoarders. They're not sloppy, they just keep all sorts of useless stuff. Yeah, my parents too. They're also not technically hoarders, but the amount of stuff that just lays around that has absolutely no purpose, functional purpose in our lives, it really does upset me, kind of. Right? And what are we supposed to do about that? They don't want to listen. How old are your parents, Joe? Great Depression old? I don't even think they have to be. Boxes and boxes of knickknacks and bric-a-bracs and random juju. Yeah, same Z's. Hoarding was handed down from the Great Depression trauma. I've been actively reframing the bad habits I've learned. I'm proud of you, dear Jean, for getting better. Plenty old enough, 70s. My parents also 70s kids. Old enough, they aren't gonna listen to me. Melt, if you're not dirty, I'd let it be. Meh. If they're not dirty, I'd let it be. Yeah, it's a curse. I like random stuff, and I totally understand why they keep that. But damn it, man, so much. Yeah, I keep stuff just because it's shiny. Reframing isn't the word. Rewiring. I think that's a better one. I don't have closets in the house, so I'm playing on hard mode. Good, because those are usually the ones that get filled with stuff, like out of sight, out of mind. But if you literally have to put it somewhere where you don't have to look at it, maybe you don't need it, right? Like if it stays in that closet to the point where it has like a thick layer of dust on it, maybe get rid of it. You'd probably have a heart attack walking into my space, Joe. I like clutter. If it smells good, I would consider myself more of a collector than a hoarder. It generally smells good in here, except for when someone cuts a fart. This house is fucking small. Like the good old diffusion. I have broken down many times, Mel, cried and told her and explained to her why her messes upset me so much, especially when she complains I don't do enough fun things with her. And I have more time if she cleaned up after herself. I've explained all of this to her already, Mel, so many times. She don't care. Yeah, that's so rough. Like a comfy cave of random treasures and the smell, like generations of experience. Melt, you aren't ready for children yet. Oh, I know, Joshmo. I know this, bro. Maybe if I'm 35, right? But a decade from now is a long time, dude. That's a long time. It may be time for groundings and confiscations then, Shan. I don't think my comments went through, but put the yogurt spoon things in her room. I've taken her devices, Sam, and when I do, I withstand being told how horrible of a mom I am and how she wants to go live with dad and be adopted by someone else. Yeah, children are stupid, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not saying, your child is stupid. But I used to say stuff like that as well, right? I don't consider myself stupid, but like one day, me and my brother fought each other, and my mom gave me a beating and not him, right? He's the one who started it, but I was the one who got the beating. And I left home and like walked away, telling my mom what a horrible mom she is. Yeah, we don't know better because we don't have the perspective. And that would be the best suggestion so far, Jean. Would Dad really put up with her mess though, Shan? Would he really? Yeah, I'm not going to speak on that. I only have 4 of each utensil, Joe. I need them spoons, yo. I sometimes end up throwing out my folks. It's a good thing I have clean silverware. I'm sorry that you were hurting. Love you, sister. So much love to you. I'm sorry as well, dear Shan. It's not fair. Dad would put up with a little more than I would. There we go. Something is biting me? Just feels like it. I didn't really sink in for me to have a clean space for myself until it was pointed out to me how a mess can clutter and affect someone's mood. That was also the pivoting point for me, actually, Sam. Like, it's like a psychological thing that you're fighting within yourself. Gosh, Shan, my bird can't say those things of me, but damn, if he could, those mouths are powerful, and they have no idea. Love you, Shan. Thank you so much, Jean, for holding our beloved Shan so compassionately as well. This is what Sam said. If she wants to go live with dad, she can do that. But I highly doubt any family court judge is going to reassign custody based on the hissy fit of a lazy preteen who doesn't want to clean. Yeah, that's true. That's what I was thinking as well, right? Like, it's so ignorant, right? Oh, yeah, I want to get adopted. And in her mind, she's getting adopted by, like a rich family. No, no, that's not how it's going to work. That's not what's going to happen. I'm trying to do so much, Joe. I feel like it's someone feels like I'm not enough for others. And even myself sometimes. That's not true. You are so beautiful and complete, dear Shan. Like, the amount of effort you put into this space just echoes the amount of love that you have for people and the amount of awareness you have about how your actions affect others. And I feel like that's what you're seeing in her as well, right? The lack of that awareness. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you would like to train your angry eyes, you know where to find me. You're doing such a good job, Shan. We all have to fight sometimes. I believe in you. I love you guys so much. I wish you could spend more time with your friends. I know I'm horrible with messages and replying, but it's never because I don't care or ignoring you. I think about you friends a lot. It's probably the rest of that message. We love you, Shan. Don't worry about that stuff. You do a lot. You're a single mom. We understand. I am free Friday PM if you are. I think about you all the time. There it is. Let's pull a card, shall we, Shan? Card time. Card time. Card timing. Let's see if the card is going to communicate some sort of wisdom to us. Please give us some wisdom, dear cards. Give us some wisdom so we can learn, so we can know what we're supposed to do going forward. I don't know what that emoji is that you sent. Rosanna. Blue? You think blue? It's going to be okay, my friends. This I feel in my belly. I believe so. She'll grow up eventually, and then she'll learn the error in her ways. Would it be helpful for the community to have set voice chat times in Discord on the daily? It could. That would be a massive commitment. We already do daily live streams, Sam. I feel like that's already hard for the community to keep up with sometimes. I feel, yeah, so truly, Shan. White and aqua? It's also a type of blue, right? Okay, I think I shuffled it enough. Please give us the wisdom that we need to understand how to move forward. I feel, yes, so truly, Shan. So much love in chat. Let's see. This one right here. You said blue, Zana, right? And Brother Joshmo said aqua. I feel like it is aqua, right? That is aqua. Hey, Google, show me the color aqua. Yeah, that's pretty close, yo. I mean, the screen is a little bit dim. If it was brighter, it would be pretty much the same color. Rainbow DNA. Rainbow DNA. Expectations. Right, I expect myself to evolve with my rainbow DNA. Joe, you got it, both of yous. Thank you, friends, so much. You all mean so much to me, really. Thank you all for your advice and encouragement. You guys are my angels. Right here on your shoulder always, Shan. Shan, you are our angel. Those messages you send every morning are exquisite. I'm looking forward to it already. 17%. I'm on 73 here right now, and 39 on the other device. I don't have any synchronicities on my side, but sending all of you lovin's. Rainbow DNA. All right. Are you ready to know what it means? Do you want to learn from sacred geometry? Let's go. Card number 42. Conscious evolution. Right on the nose. Human DNA uses the phi ratio to form the wave that spins our genetic codes. Scientists, seeking to unravel the mystery of these codes, observe a mass of unexpressed DNA within the traditional double helix, labeled by some as junk DNA. This additional information epitomizes our highest potential as yet unexpressed. In most humans, only about 3% of this code is currently switched on. By activating these dormant genes, we find the gateway to an infinite source of evolutionary wisdom, decoding and activating the full spectrum of insight and understanding that creates a rainbow of possibilities that correspond. Nope, sorry, I'm skipping fractals. By activating these dormant genes, we find the gateway to an infinite source of evolutionary wisdom, decoding and activating this full spectrum of insight and understanding creates a rainbow of possibilities that correspond to the emerging field of conscious evolution. Parts of this process is learning the dynamics through which evolution does its transformational work. I'm feeling like this fractal that you're going through, Shan, in some weird, messed up cosmic giggle, the universe is messing with us way, is a means of doing transformational work, right? Like you are breaking the cycle of abuse that has been happening, through millennia, parents to children, parents to children, parents to children. And despite the fact that you have, for what other people would like say, reason to be abusive, you're choosing not to. Part of this process is learning the dynamics through which evolution does its transformational work. Through exploration of those dynamics, we can intentionally and wisely apply them to transform ourselves, our kids, and our world. I added the and our kids part. Visualize yourself spinning within this beautiful rainbow DNA, activating your potential. Draw upon the potent emotions of love and compassion to stimulate the harmonics of your heart and speed your pace of evolution. Each time you act from your heart, you contribute to the intentional, conscious evolution of humankind and the healing of Mother Earth. As I was reading this card, Shan, my mind was trying to problem solve still. And I was imagining the next time we do Sangha or something, I'll riff on Amara by going into this fractal of, Amara, one of the things that I really cannot stand, viscerally dislike, is when people leave my couch dirty, right? For me, when that happens to me, it causes me great distress. She might be too clever for that, for it to work, but I just wish I could help. You really are our resident medicine mama. You do so much for the circle. You are loved and you are seen. I don't have words, Shan. Conscious evolution. Yeah. Right, Joe Schmo? I have so much heart energy flowing straight to you, especially lately. I know you'll feel so whole through this transformation. You're putting the work in. Yo, ski bop. Ski boppity boops. This is true. Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah, with this card. It's so appropriate. It's so appropriate. Conscious evolution. All right. The hardest work you will ever do, and you will not get paid for it, but you will gain the rewards that it holds. Right? Is that getting paid, Mel? No. Conscious evolution is experienced by yourself, but also by the rest of the world, by all. If you are a more compassionate, more calm, more kind, more gentle version of self, everything around you benefits from that, gains value. But unfortunately, we do not reward that with financial abundance in the way that we do, for example, exploiting people. Oh, let me, invest these people's retirement money in this sketchy ass investment firm and lose all of it. Yeah, let me still walk away with billions of dollars in my bank account despite it. But meanwhile, you trying to do something good for other people, yeah, doesn't mean anything. Expectations. I expect, even if it will make me suffer, the world to become a better place. Our kids to become more compassionate. Things to get better. Slowly but surely. I have a little Shelby kitty licking her little feetsies next to us, sending some cat energy. Yeah, I was keep so much love. All I can say to you, friends, is this: for as long as I draw breath, you will be loved. This I can say as well, echoing that truth alongside you, Brother Bear. Let me flippity flip my camera around, share this scene with you, friends, and then I'll play some kalimba. And there we go. Love is true. Echoing that as the first thing coming to my mind. Consciously evolving into realizing more and more. Love is true. Yeah, there are a bunch of things that suck, but love is true. Things could be better, but love is true. I'm just happy to be here with all of you. Friends, I have to go. We love you too. Your messes don't make you less lovable to me. Blessings to you, dear Shell. Okay, our Shan message is ready to be read. Let's all take Shan's message into our heart. Oh, not yet. Yes? Not yet, actually. These moments are sacred, and we are gifted of a community that recognize these treasures. Hug yourself today because you are a gift to this world, and there are friends who believe in you. There are friends who believe in me. I believe in you too. We can do it. Live good lives, make a difference, be satisfied with the impact that we've made. I don't know if it's going to be easy, but I do believe in us and our ability to do so. The love you friend share is overwhelming sometimes, but in the best possible way. I'm sending you all my bestest, big festest, warmest, giant Shan hugs right now. So much love. There is our Shan message now. Have the mostest, beautifulest day, everyone. As I start reading your comment, Shan, look at Kitty being like, what's happening here now? Is there some good vibes happening here? Can I get some of the good vibes? Yes, kitty kitty. Yeah, you can get some of the good vibes. Pippi is like, what's happening here now? Anybody else but me is getting good vibes? How dare you, kitty? I'll smell your butthole. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Shan message again. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. You too, kitty. I, for really seriously, love you all so, very supersized, duper sized, extremely, enormously, humongously, gargantuanly, galactically. The way she's looking at me right now. Gargantuanly, astronomically, dearly. Little kitty and our beloved friends, beloved, charmingly, cleverly, creatively, melt more. And all of you, oh so very, absolutely incredibly, intelligently, gently, generously, lovingly, loyally, thoughtfully, mesmerizingly, gorgeously, twinklingly, shimmeringly, magically magical, truly treasure divine friends that are free in loving, expecting nothing, and are grateful for what is. Thank you, dear Shan, for loving us too, for taking the time to send us your Shan messages. Little Roxy and Pippi, the sweeties, getting close as I read your message. They could feel the energy, Shan. Roxy came extra close just to receive some of the good vibes. Where's your sweetie, sweetie? Where's your quaddy? Where's your cuddy? Where's your cuddy? Almost thought I was gonna get the nails for a second there. Love is true. Thank you, dear ones, for joining me again, for consciously evolving alongside me. Shending Shan, you got that, yes. Shending Shan messages. So much message. I love you. And I'll see you again real soon. Well, my heart is smiling. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Melty, for all you do. Thank you, Brother Joshmo, for doing it alongside me, bro. one day at a time. We will make this world a better place. Even if the world is just ourselves, just this space, we can make it better by showing up for one another this way. Love is true. And I'll see you again real soon. Goodbye, everybody. Love you.